guys. Stay and watch our video. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
Now, do you guys get that reference at all? Please. No, you don't at all. You're just giggling at me because I'm crazy.
Because I thought you were
going a little
too much
crazy.
coffee.
I don't need caffeine to be like this. But we're going to be watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This has been highly requested for a while, and this came out in 1988. So you guys don't really know much about it, right?
No, I remember Kara loved it, and I used to just walk on by and not pay attention. I was just watching a cartoon, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. So it's a cartoon, or is it live action?
Well, I think there's some humans
cartoon
with the cartoons.
But I think it's
cartoon
a more of an
characters.
cartoon.
And you were saying, Kim, that you remember I had a rabbit stuffed animal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that.
It had suction cups. I think Mom bought it for me or something, and you put it on the car.
In the car, yes.
The car window, and I had that forever. I love that thing.
It might be still downstairs in the bag.
Probably, because
I probably have one upstairs in the attic for Kara, because she loved this.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen this since I was a kid, but I remember enjoying it, and this is a Walt Disney Pictures film. I guess they purchased the rights for it in 1981. We have Wikipedia up right now, so hopefully the information's correct. It's by Steven Spielberg. I thought Warner Brothers was involved with it too, because I thought there was a mix of all kinds of cartoon characters in this. But we'll see.
Because the rabbit just reminds me of Bugs Bunny. Kind of like that.
Actually, that brought back memories. There is a different mix of cartoon characters that you'll recognize in this. So I remember growing up and really loving that, because I was like, ooh, wow, because I love Disney, I love Warner Brothers and all kinds of other animations. And
yeah, and that's going to be cool to see a different, two different areas, the Warner Brothers and the Disney characters. That would be interesting. Plus people in the mix. This is going to be great.
Yeah, and I believe this was the first of its kind where you mix animation with live action. It worked. It was very separate, but it worked well. Like, they didn't have computer animation. I mean, they kind of maybe did at that point, but not much. So you have like your flat traditional. I know that they actually added more frames to the animation. So there's a lot more in-betweens or a lot more drawings every second to match it up with the live action footage, because with animation it's at like a different frame rate or just less drawings. So with this they did a lot more to keep it smooth like the people. So that was cool to me. And I'm saying this now because you have seen images of the movie before where you've seen live action and animation, as you were saying. So
yeah,
I think it'll be fun. So shall we get into it?
Yes.
Love to.
As you guys know, we do have a store that you can check out in the links below. Anything you buy there really helps us out a lot so we can create more videos for you guys. And we also have our Patreon listed below so you can check out our full reactions to a ton of content. Like, we have, I don't even know if it's thousands, but like we have hundreds of videos in there. Like
years,
many years worth, where we have tons of movies and tons of shows and a huge library. So if you want to check stuff out there, that would be amazing, because that really helps us grow and do more videos for you guys. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It looks like this was based loosely on a novel in 1981 called Who Censored Roger Rabbit? Who Censored Roger Rabbit? That's a fun title.
Who censored?
And this film stars Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd,
yay,
and a bunch of other people here that you guys might know, but I only know from this movie.
Joanna Cassidy.
And we're going to be watching on Disney Plus today. We found out that it's on there, so woohoo!
Okay.
Excellent.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Cookie. They learn so young.
Cookies. Oh,
Acme. Oh, the knives.
oh, guy wants his cookies.
Watch out.
Whoa, whoa.
Hey, how many times do we have to do this damn scene? No! Get me in my trailer! Taking a nap! Excuse me.
Whoops.
I can't take this.
Oh, jeez.
It's like all Fantasia.
Cattle call. Donald and Daffy.
Daffy Duck.
That's hilarious.
Scotch on the rocks. And I mean ice!
Whoa.
Toons.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Look at his eyes.
Take comfort, son. You're not the first man whose wife played patty cake on him.
Not patty cake. This is impossible. I don't believe it. It can't be. It just can't be. Just because my wife. It cannot be impossible. I needed that.
They're twins, Teddy and Eddie.
Yeah.
Just like a tune to drop a safe in a guy's head.
Sorry, Eddie.
Wrong thing to say to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's for sure.
Careful.
Oh. Wow. Oh. Oh.
Hey, Doug.
Is this man removing evidence?
Remember how we always thought there wasn't
Take
a
in
way
the
to kill a
box.
tune?
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going.
My problem is I got a 50-year-old lust and a 3-year-old dinky.
Yeah, must be tough.
Look, guys, the rabbit didn't kill Akima.
I forgot that happened. I was like, oh
I
god.
thought it was trying to, Camden was trying to come over. Oh my god, there comes the
Ear, his ears.
Oh, that wasn't that good.
I've had a very hard.
Oh my god.
I'm always
In your arm.
Hold still, will you?
Oh, he's so loud.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
It's a good line.
I'm desperate, Mr. Valiant. Can't you
Whoops.
see how much I need you?
Dabbling in watercolors, Eddie?
His pants.
Ah.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, that's the purpose,
This
right?
is shivers.
He's so creepy.
He's
here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
God, hold on to Roger's hand.
Ooh.
Wow. No trial, just.
Doesn't a dying rabbit deserve a last request?
Oh, he goes bonkers when he drinks, right?
Yes, he does.
Do.
I don't.
Do.
I don't.
He's-
Do.
I don't.
He's just.
I do.
Whoa.
Knuckleheads.
Yeah. This.
The stupid leave. He's there, Buckeyes.
But I already have a good man.
Please, don't mind me.
Hearts for eyes.
When you call the room, you dance to the ground. Why,
Gonna go farther
nobody
from the
gets
horn.
the drop on rides a rabbit.
Oh.
Stop it! The truth is, tonight,
Oh boy.
Dude Don's gonna be live with a freak.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh, jeez.
Eddie Valiant, well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Seen you tonight on the...
Oh, boy. That's funny. I was gonna say, pay attention.
Yeah. Aww.
Oh, whoa. Oh, that's gonna
That's
hurt.
good. Oh, okay. He was just landing on his crotch.
Yeah, I thought
Look,
Oh, Tweety.
Hi,
so.
Tweety.
Oh, the boobs.
Gesundheit. Thank you.
Valiant. I hit him on the head with a frying pan and put him in the trunk so he wouldn't get hurt.
Makes perfect sense.
She knows her husband.
Let's take yours.
What are you seeing, that guy?
He makes me laugh.
So that's the most powerful thing. Ew, ew, oh.
Nice booby trap.
Ah, booby trap.
Over, Raj. You've done enough driving for one night.
He's his own head with his own eyes. Oh no.
5,000 gallons of heated dip.
He's an evil monster machine.
Yeah, it's up here.
Water cannon.
look, stars.
Aw,
Hey.
got stars.
Tying all our birds together.
I was waiting for that.
That's gonna happen.
Wow, he's pretty good.
Oh my god.
Oh, cheese.
Oh my god.
He's dying with laughter. Glue. Oh, he's stuck to it now.
Yes, he is.
His glove.
Ooh, what a way to go. Ew.
Ew, ew.
Ew. An evil tumor.
Ew.
Look at the eyes. Oh. No.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. Whoop.
Oh, he got him.
Ooh.
Excellent. Good deal.
His eyes.
I'm melting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Come on, Roger, let's go.
Tank.
Oh, what a good mix.
That was
Yes.
great. I'm so glad we got to see a bunch of little things.
I love Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
he was
he's so
funny.
silly and innocent.
Silly.
And it's great because it's good because it's about laughter. You know, it's
Yes,
like a
it
pure
is,
thing
yeah.
of laughter because a lot of people are sad and negative, and I mean not everyone, but like the people he
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to make laugh. And
Yeah,
it's a very
especially
powerful
Eddie.
message.
Eddie was a sourpuss in the beginning.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
But he had a right. I mean, he was sad about his brother and his
Yes.
mom.
Oh, yes.
And it's been so long since I've seen this. I mean, I saw it when I was a kid. That was a long time ago. So I don't know if I saw the whole thing or not. There's a few things I didn't remember. But it's a lot more adult than I expected.
Yeah, if I had known it was this adult, I don't know if I would have let Kara watch it. I don't know. I just
Oh, that's true, because Kara watched it when she was younger.
Right?
Well, honestly, like, Mom was always so good with me not watching.
So I don't know how
adult
you got to watch that because I didn't watch it. So maybe
yeah,
the
but we
voice-
thought cartoons that it was fine, and a lot of things were over my head as a kid. But I was pretty shocked on how much sexual tension there was, and just Jessica. Like, I love her character, and I go to a lot of conventions, and a lot of people would cosplay her, and I thought it was such a cool thing because so many people look just like her and do her dress and makeup and hair, and it just looks really nice. But I really like her character a lot. And I knew she was sexy, but not to this extent, sexual all the time. Even playing patty cake. Oh, yes, patty cake. And I was like, I'm like, oh my God. And when Eddie was watching, he's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you guys thought that was actually like sex or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Until we saw the pictures, that was
See, that's what cartoon characters called it. Patty cake. They did patty cake. No. So the story was a lot of fun. I mean, all the mystery there. There were a lot of twists, right?
There was. I knew the judge was corrupt right from the beginning.
Right,
he was just taking over the whole thing, like what judge would come in.
Yeah, and Christopher Lloyd's amazing, but he played a good creepy guy in this.
Sure
he was so
My
freaky.
gosh, yes.
He did. Even right from the beginning when he killed that silly toon shoe. And he's a toon himself, and to have him go near the dip like that, I mean, he's taking a chance.
Yeah, that's
We didn't know he was a toon until the end. That's true. He had the
wore
gloves
gloves too. How creepy is that? So he wore a mask and stuff to look human, and it was the same guy that was doing murders, and he killed Eddie's brother.
Yes.
With crazy eyes and the high-pitched voice. Oh, God. And just mixing the two things with animation, you have 2D animation with live action. They kept it very separate, but it really worked on how they did it. And I liked it a lot, you know? And even keeping the mix of comedy, like they had a lot of goofiness in it with the animated characters, but even with Eddie sometimes, like he had a lot of humor there as well.
Yeah, with the weasels, he's trying to make him laugh.
Oh,
that
the
was
weasels,
funny.
they were like that.
Yeah.
I like Benny the car, too.
I like Benny, too. And he really got injured with that dip.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But
I loved it when Roger had that drink the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
that was a riot.
Yeah.
You actually guessed too. You were like, you don't know how a toon's going to take a drink, so he kind of like knew something weird was going to happen or something. But yeah, so that was a good weapon to have because he's so innocent. He's not violent. He's not really a survivor. So it was good that Eddie saw that happen the first time, so he was able to use it to escape Dune and the weasels. Then, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the violence in it, and it was a little scary. I mean, like, not for us really, but I forgot to what level of violence there was. Yeah. And it was like a murder mystery. It was.
Yeah, even to the end when Dune got, steamrolled. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, how creepy. You guys are freaked out too, and even watching it this time I knew, and I'm like, oh God, like that's horrific. I don't even know, like, being so sensitive to anything scary. I mean, that should have traumatized me as a kid, but for some reason I was just like, you got Looney Tunes and stuff. It's kind of funny.
And he was technically a toon, we knew at the end. So,
but not at that time, right? Because we didn't know he was a toon yet, so he was just getting rolled over as a human, and we were like, oh God.
Oh, that's right. And then after he got steamrolled, then he just
peeled up. It was like,
yes, and then all of a sudden, is he a toon?
So it was full circle. Like, what a good murder mystery, Like, it was him all along, and Eddie was able to, he died, so that was good. I was going to say, like, arrest him, but no, like, he died there, and that was very fitting for him because he was a big jerk. But to be a toon and to be so crazy to want to kill all the other toons, like, that's what you are too. And to get rid of everybody else.
Yeah.
Just for the almighty dollar. I mean, he would have gotten a piece of the pie too, because he's a toon. The will was left to the toons, but he wanted it all.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, he was spiteful against other toons, like to want to murder all of them, to get rid of them, to expand and have a freeway. And again, this is like, what, 1937 or something? So this is like way back when.
Yes.
So he's like, what's a freeway? So it's kind of funny, but it's like, no, it's like, that's how it started. So not that it left it open for that, but I remember when I was a kid, I always thought like, wow, with this dip, maybe toons existed back then. And I mean, not that I thought that, but I, like in this story, I kind of thought that, where it was like, oh, well, it kind of has that possibility where you have all these live action people who do everyday things in their lives like we do, but yet they have a mixture of all these toons. So, maybe in the past we had that, and then the dip destroyed everything, and that's why they don't exist now. But it just made it more believable in a way that I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it was more believable to see these toons in this world. And I'm going back to the animation again that I mentioned in the beginning, where they drew in so many more in-betweens to make it a lot more fluid. So it would just stay in sync with the live action people.
That's right, yeah.
I was impressed. It was really well done. I loved it. It was very it had everything. It had the mystery, and it had the comedy. I mean, Eddie was great. Roger was fantastic. I love Jessica, because even at a moment I had like, oh, when she hit him with the pan, I'm like, was that good, or was that because he's just a goofball, and she knows he's going to mess up in some way. But it was. And you
caught on to that too, because when I first saw this as a kid, I was like, no, she's still evil. You can't just hit him over the head with a frying pan and say you want to protect him. But now seeing it again, I'm like, no, she was protecting him. She knows exactly what he's like, and he's funny, but he's also really crazy. And look at him hiding before at the bar, and he could hardly do that because he just wanted to entertain people, and hiding in Eddie's jacket for a while, like he just couldn't even stay there, like he wanted to be free all the time. So she knows her husband, so knocking him out was the perfect thing to do. Like you said, Kim, like she knows what you have to do to protect him.
But she really loves him because he's so funny.
She does, her honey bunny.
Yes, she does.
And as a kid, I remember that hyena lady or whatever. What was her name? Leanna Hyena or something.
That was...
When she was in Toontown, and Eddie thought it was Jessica. As a kid, I thought that was Jessica, but in Toontown, we already saw Eddie going up the elevator and getting squished. And it seemed like the squash and stretch technique and animation worked on actual humans once you were in Toontown. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe Jessica, maybe that was her, and she just went more zany because she was in Toontown. So when I was a kid, I believed that was her, and I got really confused. And I'm like, why is she like that now? Is it a trigger because she's in Toontown? But I don't remember her yelling her name, and it was kind of still hard to hear, Leanna or whatever, Lena, hyena. I just remember the hyena word. But yeah, so I'm glad that wasn't her. And he just saw a silhouette, a sexy silhouette in a window.
Yeah, and I thought it was Jessica at first with the silhouette, and her hair was just different because she had more of like a bangy kind of.
And it was covering her mouth and stuff too. Yeah. It kind of looked like her eyes.
I'm like, oh God, long
and it is bizarre, but just because. I don't know if it was after this or not, but a lot of shows started having, at least cartoons that I would watch, started having like different kinds of characters that would like each other, like different species and stuff. So I know that was probably really bizarre for you guys to see a rabbit and a human. Not that she's human though, she's still a toon, like they're all toons, but married to a rabbit. Like you have a human type cartoon married to a rabbit cartoon. And you accept it over time because the style of the movie and their toons. They're like, okay, they're drawn, they're made, or who knows really. I mean, it seems like, aspartame, like, and other ingredients for paints and stuff, like make them disappear, erase them. So how were they created in the first place? But, like there's no limit when it comes to toons. So why can't they love whoever they want? Because there's all kinds of shapes and forms. And
it was really interesting to see her in the club singing, and even humans were like, Mr. Ackley was like, she's on. I'm only, he's only there because of Jessica. And she comes out and wows the crowd. Even, with Eddie, he was just like speechless.
Yes, he was in awe.
And I think, he knew she was beautiful, and I know that he had a major attraction to her. But I think he was really shocked at first because he's like, that's Roger Rabbit's wife, like that's his wife. He couldn't get over that, but he was also infatuated a bit with her too, like just always.
Of course, and she was so up close to him and things like that. Really,
Yeah,
and that's
falling out of her dress.
And the fun thing about
Amazement.
her character too is that she was very stereotyped, right? But she was very loyal to Roger, and
Yes,
she
yeah.
wouldn't cheat on him, but she would rub herself up against guys. Like, she was a
That's right,
singer,
yes.
and she would, like, do kind of, sort of, not lap dances, but even on Eddie, and, like
Like
almost kissing
teasing.
and shoving away, like,
Yeah.
teasing people. And even, like, in his office, and she's like, like, every time she
Whoa,
would get
yes.
close.
Anything to
Yeah, anything. So she was a very sexy lady where you would think that she would do anything to, like, kind of slutty, but she wasn't, and that's what the contrast was
That's
that I
what it
liked
is,
about
yes.
her, because she
Yeah,
really
and that was
truly
her
loved her husband.
character. And like she
I
I
said,
was drawn this way.
yes, I'm
Yeah,
not bad. I
that.
was just drawn this way.
Yeah,
That
so
was
literally
funny.
comes to, and one thing I was going to say too is, well, first of all, I'll say, literally it comes to, she was drawn. So a human or someone drew her already. And the dip is made out of elements that can erase paint and other things. It's better than a big eraser coming in and being like, no.
Yeah, that's right.
So the idea of having toons mixed in with humans in actual life, like,
Wow.
it seemed like you accepted that. Like, how did you feel about that?
I got used to it. It was really great, you know.
I
Everything
thought it was a
blended
riot,
right
and I
around.
said I
Yes.
felt bad for the humans because you can't, once something is done, when someone's run over, a human's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a cartoon character, if they run you over, you're gonna die, but you can't do the same thing to them.
That's right.
And it made me think, like, overthink it, but here, like, you have these toons roaming free. And we have this debate a lot in other shows, too, when, not toons, but, like, with superheroes and stuff, and you have special abilities. But you have these toons that walk around freely. Like, that is kind of scary, too, because if you do get some crazy toons who want to kill people, they're going to live, most likely. And they can easily kill you, and they'll survive. Even just, like, throwing both of you off, a ledge or something, like a high-up ledge, like, that toon will survive, but you won't, or dropping a piano
Right, or just
on
for
you.
gags, they just want to
Yeah.
laugh all the time. So at your expense wouldn't be good.
And guys, if you can tell me your thoughts on this too. So I know if you laugh too hard, you can die laughing, right? So a lot of toons want to bring laughter, but not for them, to other people, I guess, like the viewers, like to the
Yes.
humans. I was watching a lot in this that Roger was laughing a whole lot, and even Jessica was like, he makes me laugh, and that's what I really love about him.
Yeah.
So toons can laugh, but I guess you just can't laugh too hard, otherwise you'll die laughing. So it makes it also very dangerous. Or maybe it was just a weasel thing because they were evil and they're not supposed to laugh so much, but that was their weakness.
And they have no control.
So I'm curious what you think.
goodness.
Is it a whole toon thing where you can't laugh too much or you'll die laughing? Or is it just like the weasels because they're evil and shouldn't be laughing as much? But
And they're so
That's right.
silly
Mhm.
to
They
be
are.
following Dune on this
Oh
thing
my
to kill all the tunes and their tunes. So
yeah.
like it doesn't connect with them. Like, oh no, he's gonna save us. We're gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
I know, probably
I think
afterwards he
so.
would dip them too or something, who
Yeah.
knows? But it also
Yes.
goes like with any other job, I guess. Like people go against each other if there's good payments and you don't really think that far in advance. And the weasels were kind of stupid too, because here
Yeah,
like
they
Eddie's
had to.
washing Roger in the sink. And they're like, oh, look at what you got in there, my laundry. And he's like, oh, and he won't look again because it's just like so tunnel vision on
jeez,
everything. So they're perfect for, like, they're so true to their characters.
They are. I loved Eddie's girlfriend Dolores. She was so adorable. She just wanted to
She
be
was.
with Eddie, and you can just tell that she was sad. She wanted to go on vacation again with him, and to have that bar, and you can tell she was struggling. And
That's right.
I mean, even the money, the $50 was like so much money to her. It's like to both of them, they're
Yes.
struggling, and
Yeah.
At
And she
first she
was
was
tough.
a little jealous. At first she was a little jealous of Jessica too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her there, but that's
His
just
pants
his
were
character,
down.
and her boobs were
Yes,
against
that's
him.
right.
Like,
Oh,
ooh.
right there, yes.
But it did look worse than it actually was.
Yeah.
But he, being a man, that's what he said. But still, like, he would stray so much, and I guess he wasn't official with Dolores anymore. I don't know, but he was very open to Jessica, or it was just showing that how like sexy and tempting that Jessica
Yes,
was or
yes.
something. But yeah, so I don't blame her for getting upset seeing that take
I
place,
don't
even
blame
though
either,
again it
no.
wasn't as bad as
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
And when they left the office and they're crossing the street, Jessica was in her car, and she didn't say anything. She was just like,
listening.
Yeah,
to that.
so then you almost kind of think, does she have a hand in this, for framing her husband?
Yeah, she seemed evil all the way through, and hitting Roger with a frying pan too. It's like, oh no, yep, she's full on in it until later on. So one fun thing that I enjoyed too was the mix, how Toons could handle like live action equipment or props, and vice versa. So we had Eddie with the cartoon gun with the bullets. Like, that was freaking hilarious.
The bullets were funny.
Yeah, and to have those, they were funny as heck. And honestly, you think that would really come in handy too, because they could turn corners and stuff, but they get lost easy. So I'm like, well, that sucks. I can't
Where do we go?
But it makes you wonder, like, he always hated Toons ever since his brother, but it seems like he might have had a decent relationship with Toons, or was pretty okay with them, to have this cartoon gun with bullets, because he's so against them. Why would he have that?
Yeah, the bullets were very happy that he opened it up and said, "Oh, we're back again," or something like that.
Like they had a good relationship back then, and maybe they work better in Toontown, because you never know what kind of zany antics will take place.
That's for sure.
So just to throw it out there, what do you think Toontown is besides the obvious? Do you think it takes up a huge area of the earth? Do you think it's a small, like, town area? What would it be now if the dip actually did destroy everything? I don't know.
I think it was like cartoon wood. Almost like Hollywood, just in one little spot, like a
cartoon wood. I like it. Hey, you know what? Why not? And the idea of the whole world was so cool, and I love the interactions with all the characters. Even with Fantasia in the beginning, like, we have all those characters. I saw that too when I was a kid, and that actually scared me. They had a lot of evil parts in that. I remember that was really evil. But I remember the hippo dancing. Yeah, like, so anyways, like, all those interactions in the beginning were a lot of fun. How when she sat on the bench, it broke, and the poor guy went flying. Hopefully he survived that. And everyone's trying to help her up, and it's just a normal, everyday thing that they just help each other. But then some Toons you box up because they're items, but yet they still have personalities, but you have to box them up like the shoes.
Oh my God. I love the part with Daffy and Donald doing the competition with the piano. That was
good. Yeah, very good.
That's probably my favorite thing about this movie, is mixing all these different companies. Like, I love Warner Brothers, Disney. Like, there's tons of them, and Hanna-Barbera. And I know you guys would recognize Droopy, right? Like, Dad likes Droopy.
Yes,
and Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite and Tweety.
Yes,
Tweety. We grew up with Looney Tunes, and that was freaking hilarious. But times have really changed, because I mean, there's so many violent things on TV now, but for a cartoon, like, there's a lot of bad labels out there now for Looney Tunes. Like, I get the skunk, Pepe Le Pew.
Yes.
Like, I get, like, why him, because even when I was a kid, I used to get anxiety for the cat that he would almost, like, rape, or, like, kind of, like, remember he would always, like, pull the cat in and be like, oh, Charlie, or whatever you would say. But the cat always wanted to escape and never liked him and would just be really upset, and he would, like, kidnap the cat, and, and I was like, oh, God. But I did love watching him, though. Like, I loved all the different Looney Tunes shorts. But I think that character now is in trouble, and I don't know what they're going to do about it. But even, like, who smoked on there? I think even Bugs even smoked at one point, right? But there's a lot of smoking on there. And blowing your head off with a gun. Like, it was so funny.
Bugs would blow.
It's so bad.
Elmer Fudd would blow up.
Duck season, rabbit season, duck season. That's right. Yeah, he would do that. And then you have, like, jumping to this, where you have the bullets, and you have an Indian bullet getting shot out, and he's using an axe to hit, so it's showing how they stereotype a lot of stuff.
And the sound.
We live in a very different world now, where you can't, like, do things like that anymore. And I mean, if you take it not really thinking about it, it is funny, but still, like, it's amazing how different we are now.
It's very sensitive,
Yes.
Definitely,
And Looney Tunes, wow, though, they really do a lot of things on there that's... I mean, I still have the box set, too, because I won that at one of our Christmas parties, and I never opened it, but it would be cool to actually open that up at some point and just do a fun... Not even reaction, like, it would be cool to do it for the channel if we have time, but to just do it for fun for us. And
they're
some of the cartoons.
You can watch them on YouTube. They're great.
Yeah, and good thing about technology, too. We can see all of that, anytime we want to.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. That was really good. I was actually kind of worried, because I went in thinking you were going to really like it, and I totally forgot how adult it was. And you've seen some cartoons now, like Mom, you have with me on and off growing up. But Kim, like with this channel, it opened up a whole new world for you because you never used to watch cartoons, and you're watching your first
just when I was a kid.
Anime, and you're watching your first anime series now, Attack on Titan. I wasn't sure how you were going to take the mix of like you have these like sensual or sexy type cartoon characters mixed in with actual humans, and I wasn't sure how you were going to relate to that or be like, what?
I really enjoyed it. I'm just sad that I let my daughter watch this when she was a kid and not watching it with her. Oops.
I really enjoyed watching it this time. You're not. I mean, come on, like all the stuff that people sometimes like, it's fine that you can watch that. I've heard stories and I'm like, do you know it's like rated R? But yeah, this was quite the joy to watch with you guys, and I love the animation so much. Like I was really into that, and even again with making more frames, making more drawings to make the characters match up with the motions of the live action. They also did a lot of lighting there too to make it to make the cartoons blend more into the surrounding areas. They still kept it where their motions were exaggerated, like their eyes bulging out all the time. Like they didn't restrict the toons more because they were in live action. They made them to their extreme. You know, so we had Roger always squashing and stretching and being able to squeeze through things and get free of the cups, no problem. And he stayed in them because it was funny. Like, that's the whole skit, you know?
That
like,
was,
that's what he's about.
That was
So that was great that they really pushed the envelope where they wanted to show that they're toons and we have live action humans and they can get along and work well together in the same environment. So I think
and a perfect example is when they had the car chase and the weasels are chasing after them and their eyes are just bugging out flat up against the windshield.
One funny bug out scene I liked, like the eyes bugging out, was when Roger's looking through that secret room.
Oh my God.
The outlet there, and his eyes go blink, and he's just so quick, and he knocks over the
beer.
That really got me. Like, that was really funny there. But they had a lot of funny scenes in this one. And going back to Donald and Daffy, that was a big scene to me as a kid that I loved to see. I'm like, Disney and Warner Brothers, what? And then with Mickey and Bugs actually parachuting or just like falling with Eddie and not helping him. I was like, holy crap.
And that was so classic Bugs, because he'd always wait right to the last minute.
Not Mickey, you know? So that was kind of like messed up. So I really think this movie was kind of borderline, like walking on eggshells a little bit. I don't know, like let me know what you guys think. But like seeing Mickey like that really kind of made me like, what? Because I would think like, oh God, yeah, we should really give him this shoot so he can save himself. Like, oh, but they're toons, so they're showing that it's like diverse that way, where they're all like, oh well, you'll be fine. Oh whoops, ain't I a stinker? It was just, I just didn't expect that out of Mickey.
You know, it's funny you say that, because it's like Warner Brothers back in the day and Disney back in the day. Disney's so wholesome and so has a good story, and you learn a lesson at the end, where Warner Brothers, if you watch a Bugs or something like that, it's just goofy. There's a good ending, but it's just someone is always, doing some kind of shenanigans.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, again, it was a good mix, but like I felt like this was more Warner Brothers, even though it's owned by Disney, because it was more fresh. I mean, not like that because I love Disney, but fresh as in it had attitude, and it was very sexual violence, and Mickey also, again, wasn't really Mickey. He was, but then I totally think he would have saved someone instead of being like, you're fine, but but maybe he would have survived because Eddie was squished in the elevator like a toon, so maybe he would have bounced at the end.
Yeah.
Well, Hyena saved him, so it was okay. So
I love that baby. I have to say, the baby was a riot.
That was the beginning.
I think that was your biggest shock, right?
That was.
Right. Wow.
That opening scene when they were just working for a scene, that was so funny, because I was like,
very funny.
It throws you right into like a Looney Tunes episode.
So much mischief.
I know, like one thing after another. Like, that was a very
That's
entertaining cartoon, because it was like, it never missed a beat. It just kept going. And I kept subtly glancing over at you guys to see your reaction. But once you saw the baby walking on its own and it started like talking in a manly voice and
I said,
kind of being very rude.
Getting pissed off that he had So he has to do it all over again when
That's
he
right.
had nothing really to.
I saw your faces fall a little bit like, what are we watching right now? So again, this was Mom and Kim's very first time watching Roger Rabbit. So this was very enjoyable. I'm glad you guys finally saw it.
I am too.
Yes, that's right. My gosh, there's so much going on.
And I love the era too. You know it was just such a great. The music was good.
That was very good. Yes,
They had a lot of toony music to mix in, which was fun.
Yeah.
It was very zany and very good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you very soon as always. Until next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.